Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are LA.
Get your Red On week rolls on as the Red Sox pay their annual visit to the Big A. It's Boston versus LA next on Fox Sports West. Get your Red On week continues here at the Big A. The Angels trying to snap a 3-game losing streak and have put the Freeway Series behind them. Tonight they welcome in the Boston Red Sox. That is the world champion Boston Red Sox in town for the first of 3 tonight. From inside the Big A, we welcome you back to Angels baseball here on Fox Sports West along with Mark Gubiza. I'm Victor Rojas, and going back to the All-Star break and up and through last night's ball game, the Angels have faced some incredible pitching staff. The Halos, because of that and because of the slumping offense, at times they have managed just a .500 record, and at some point you figure they're going to snap out of it.
Yeah, exactly, especially when you got to place the world champion Boston Red Sox, who have struggled a little bit this season, but they've had some really tough teams to deal with since the second half had started, dealing with some very good pitching staffs. You know, the 5 games they faced Cy Young Award winners, 10-10 during that mark. When you think about it, that's pretty solid considering you're only averaging a little over 3 runs a game. 17 of the 20 have been against clubs that are over 500. A number of them are on their way to potentially the postseason. But Mike Scioscia says it best. You know, they've held their own since the All-Star break, and what they're looking for is a little continuity amongst the offense. And when you're facing Boston right now, you're not facing the familiar faces in the rotation. Boston is struggling right now. Philadelphia. The bottom line is you have to go out there and start swinging the bat, using a big part of the field. If they do that, they'll be in good shape.
No question, it's a new look Boston Red Sox. Matter of fact, Alan Webster on the mound for the Sox tonight, opposing the Angels ace, Jared Weaver. We're ready for baseball here at the Big A. Sit back and relax. Lineups at first pitch when we return. Angels baseball is brought to you by CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. By the Fiat 500 1957 edition, returned of the original. Visit FiatUSA.com to learn more. And by the UPS Store, your one-stop shop for your small business needs. Welcome back to the Big A for the first of 3 against the Boston Red Sox. The Angels trying to snap this little 3-game losing streak. Last victory on Monday night at Dodger Stadium, a 5-0 shutout of the Dodgers. But the Dodgers took the last 3 of that freeway series. And yet in baseball, tomorrow is another day.
Turn the page.
That's right. And would have been a perfect night last night, though, to have a team meeting since the A's Jared Weaver's on the mound today to face the Red Sox. But the Angels didn't need a team meeting.
The offense, you know, is going to get rolling at some point. Hopefully tonight is that night.
But the Angels taking the field. We will take a look at manager John Farrell starting 9 for the Boston Red Sox in last place in the American League East at 50-64. Brock Holt will lead things off at center. Dustin Pedroia at second. David Ortiz at DH. YOENIS Cespedes playing his 6th game as a Red Sox season left. Mike Napoli is at first base. Daniel NAVA at right. Xander Bogaerts is the shortstop. Will Middlebrooks at third base. And Christian Vasquez will bat 9th and do the catching. And they will be taking on Jared Weaver. Rolls into this one with a 12-6 mark and a 3.59 ERA.
Weaver 5-0 in his last 9 starts with a 3.46 for Weaver. 12-game winner of this season. 117 punch-outs and a little over 150 innings pitched. But the key for Weaver against this Red Sox club, good fastball command. That's all 4 quadrants. And don't let Poppy preach. Poppy has some good numbers against not only the Angels but Weaver. Power threat, always in the clutch. Avoid him.
Defensively for the Angels tonight, Josh Hamilton at left, Mike Trout at center, Cole Calhoun at right. The infield consists of David Freese and Eric Ibar on the left side, Howie Kendrick and Albert Pujols on the right, Chris Inetta behind the plate.
And with Weaver on the mound, a lot of fly ball action. Cole Calhoun has been outstanding in right field. 1 of 3 American League outfielders with at least 7 assists and no errors. Frankie Bradley and Nick Markakis are the other 2, but Cole Calhoun has been very, very good in right field for the Halos.
Brock Holt ready to lead things off for the Red Sox. He has been a nice little spark plug, nice addition to this Red Sox lineup. He's bounced around multiple positions. And he's getting the start in center field. Weaver's ready to go, and tonight's first pitch being delivered by the UPS store. Red Sox have lost 12 of the last 15. Out on the road, they're 10 games under 500 at 23-33. It's a late season meeting for the first time this year. 3 here and then 4 at Fenway Park on the upcoming road trip. First one tonight in for a strike. Dale Scott calling the balls and strikes. Ben May at first, C.B. Buckner at second, and Quinn Walcott over at third base, the umpiring crew for the weekend series. This is fouled back. And there's no balls at 2 strikes. Holt hitting .297, 3 home runs and 23 runs batted in. Texas native, Stephenville, Texas.
High energy player. And it will run out everything extremely hard, put pressure on the defense.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Talked to my brother after the Mariners played the Red Sox, and I asked him, his scouting report, just raved about Brock Holt, the type of player that he is. Kind of a Dustin Pedroia mold. 1-2. Swing and a foul tip, and it's hung on to by Chris Inetta, and there's out number 1.
Boy, with his hands as high as they are, he looked like he would be susceptible to breaking balls down and in, and a perfect pitch from Weaver. Hands high, tried to get the bat head down, unable to make contact with that one. A swing and miss for Weaver. Good start for Weave.
There's Dustin Pedroia, second baseman. And a down year for him, hitting .279, 5 home runs and 42 runs batted in. This Red Sox team is last in the American League in runs scored. 13th in average, 13th in home runs. It's just a stark contrast to the team that went on an unbelievable run last year. Everything just clicked for John Farrell and the Boston Red Sox.
And guys had career years for John Farrell, and he did a very good job handling the pitching staff. What a run they had. Former Angel pitcher.
Breaking pitch, missing down and away. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. Weaver wants to do baseball. Coming off a win against the Rays on the 3rd of August. 2 runs, 6 hits, 6 innings of work. Walked 4 though. And struck out 3. As a matter of fact, he is Had back-to-back starts in which he has walked 4 batters, and that is his career high, and he's done it a number of times. And Pedroia shoots one to right. Calhoun was playing shallow and toward the line, knocks it down, and Pedroia will slam on the brakes. Looked like Cole had thoughts of diving for that baseball, and it goes as a base hit.
I think that's the wise decision, is play that baseball in front. If you dive, it gets by. It's at least double, if not a triple, for Pedroia. Just have to trust in Weaver to get a ground ball with Ortiz up and get a double play ball. Otherwise, he's going to be in scoring position for Big Papi. Cut it off. He's able to keep the ball in front of him and gets it in quickly to keep Pedroia at first base.
So man on, overshift for David Ortiz. 3 infielders on the right side. And at times we've seen David Ortiz kind of take advantage of that shift, try to drop one down on the third base line.
And he will definitely try to bunt on occasion.
He's ahead of the count at 1 ball, no strikes. 9-time All-Star, 38 years of age now. 249 batting average, 26 home runs and 82 runs batted in. 21 doubles as well. Last year, 30 home runs and 103 runs batted in. Swinging a miss on the off speed. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Establishing his changeup early on in the game.
Weaver making his 15th career start against Boston. A 4-5 mark and a 3.98 ERA. Red Sox do not run a whole lot. Just checking in on Pedroia. Boston with 32 stolen bases, second to last in the American League.
See the AL RBI leaders. Jose Abreu, Miguel Cabrera, and third is David Ortiz, followed by Mike Trout.
Shows bunt, takes the breaking ball outside. And the thought process being, when you've got the one guy in the lineup that is still very capable of hitting mammoth home runs and driving in multiple runs, if he wants to give up his at-bat for a bunt base hit, if you're the opposition, you say, all right, take your chances with the guys behind you in the lineup.
Weaver gets off the mound well enough that he still might have a play anyhow, even with a good bunt from Ortiz.
This one rolled foul. Out in front of the curveball. That's 2 balls, 2 strikes. A beautiful night for baseball. Very mild temperatures here at the Big A. Weaver, Richards, and Santiago for the Angels in this 3-game set against Boston. Pedroia over first. A swing and a miss. Down goes Ortiz, 2 out. Second strikeout of the inning.
Another good breaking ball from Weaver. Stayed on top of this changeup. Not a breaking ball. It looked like it could have been a slow curve, but a perfect changeup. He had one at 80 mile an hour in that sequence against Ortiz, and that one at 78.
So Pedroia is still at first. Now 2 outs. YOENIS CESPEDES, the left fielder, out. Coming over the John Lester trade. 258 batting average overall. 17 home runs, 67 runs batted in. Game number 6 wearing the Boston uniform. Promptly looks at a strike. Just one of the number of trades the Red Sox have pulled off the last couple of weeks. 4/5 of that starting rotation on opening day gone. That's one of the men that came over the St. Louis Cardinals deal for John Lackey, Joe Kelly.
And all 4 of those starters were big parts of that World Championship club.
Lester, Peavy, Dubront, Lackey.
Kelly has a chance to be really special. He's got a very good fastball.
They're over, and they almost picked him off. Looked like Pedroia was leaning a little bit.
Weaver with 2 pickoffs this season, 20 in his career. That's a perfect throw, too. Pedroia just got his hand in. Only because he went to that back part of the base. A little longer tag for Pujols and got the hand in.
Throw, nice dig by Albert. Help Pujols loosen up for the bottom of the first, since he is due up third. 2 strikeouts and a single for Jared Weaver to start off this ball game. 15 pitches thrown.
Yeah, Pedroia only 3 stolen bases this season, has been caught 6 times.
Two balls, 1 strike. Handles with the 2 losses the last 2 nights here in this ballpark. Now 38-21 here at home. The season, 20 games over 500 overall. Lost a game in the standings last night with Oakland defeating Minnesota in the first of their 4-game series. So the Angels 3 games back in the West. Slow breaking ball away by Cespedes, 2-2.
Cespedes 3 for 10 against Weaver. Very quick on a fastball in the inner half. Very good on a fastball up and away. It's a tough time staying back on that slow curveball that Weaver just threw him.
Two. This one's skied out to shallow left. Ibar going out is there. And that'll do it for Boston here at the top of the first. We'll head to the bottom of the inning. Calhoun, Trout, and Pujols coming up for the Angels with no score. Inning. This is the offense that will be trying to provide him some runs tonight. Cole Calhoun will lead things off at right. Mike Trout at center. Albert Pujols at first. Josh Hamilton in left. Eric Ibar will bat fifth and play shortstop. Howie Kendrick at second. David Freese at third. Efren Navarro the DH. And Chris Inetta batting ninth and doing the catching as they take on the 24-year-old right-hander, native of Greensboro, North Carolina. His name is Alan Webster.
And Webster's got a good fastball, 90 to 95 slider, and very good changeup. 1-1 with a 6.75 ERA. Can walk a lot of batters, 11 of them in 8 innings pitched. But the keys to be successful against Webster is think doubles all night long. And that means hit those alleys. Don't try to necessarily pull them, and patience with runners in scoring position. Don't chase pitches out of the zone. We saw that in 3 straight games against the Dodgers. A little impatient with runners in scoring position.
Webster with decent numbers at Pawtucket AAA for Boston. 4-4 mark at .310 ERA, 21 games, 20 starts. Issuing 44 walks in 122 innings, but at the big league level, it just has not translated for him. Some have even speculated that this could be his last go-round in the rotation. Cole hitting .279 with 11 home runs. 32 runs batted in. Takes up and away. Got into the game as a pinch hitter last night in the 8th inning. Bounce went back to the mound. That was against Jamie Wright. Middlebrooks, a third baseman, in on the grass. The 1-0 is in there. Total of 8 innings in the big leagues. 5 hits, the 11 walks, 5 strikeouts for Webster. 1-1 mark. Cole loops one out to shallow left field, and that will fall in for a base hit. Right in front of Cespedes, and Cole better stop it first. No need to get greedy with Cespedes in left. Hey, we'd like to welcome those watching tonight's game on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. We welcome you to our broadcast, and as always, we thank you for your continued service to your country. So leadoff man on board, and Mike Trout steps to the plate. Mike takes inside. Trout last night 0 for 3. Had a walk. His 23rd birthday. Hitting even 300. 25 home runs and those 81 runs batted in. And you talked about a little while ago. 5th in home runs with those 25. Jose Abreu, the rookie first baseman for the White Sox, leads the American League with 31 bombs.
Trout a .404 career hitter versus the Red Sox with 3 home runs.
A 1-ball, 2-strike count. Last start for Webster was against the Yankees. Gave up 4 runs on 2 hits at 2 2/3. 6 walks.
A lot of room in left center field for Trout. More likely tells you they're going to pitch him away, like we've seen a number of pitchers against the Angels of late. Is a lot of fastballs and breakables away.
And a swing and a miss. Down goes Trout. Trout number 1.
Well, my Hyundai key to this game tonight, a little Pink Floyd. Welcome to the machine. This field at Albert Pujols, who showed even last night the split screen as far as how well he's using the lower part of his body. This field, he's going to have one of those very important games for the Angels, the leader of this club, both in the dugout and on the field. Look for him to drive the ball today against the youngster Webster.
1 out, 1 on, and here's Albert. Pujols last night 1 for 4. Double for him in the 6th inning. 28th of the year. Skies one on the third base side. Middlebrooks will give it a look, but it's into the seats. Oh, 1 count, and Albert hitting .275 on the year. One ball, 1 strike. Kind of a, do you classify Webster a short armor?
Yeah, and a lot of fastballs too. He doesn't get that long throwing motion, which is surprising that he's not consistent in the strike zone.
18th round pick in 08 out of high school by the Dodgers. And Albert shoots one out toward left center field. HOLT is there. It's down. Sounded as if Albert got that one off the end of the bat just enough.
Yeah, hit well, but just, not right on the barrel of the bat. Otherwise, that baseball has a chance to get an out.
Calhoun still standing at first. 2 outs now. Hamilton coming to the plate. Webster is part of the 12-player trade back in 2012 between the Dodgers and the Red Sox.
Middlebrook's going to move over to the right side of the infield with the shift on with Hamilton.
And PEDROIA is out at shallow right, but almost if you drew a straight line from a normal first baseman's position out to the outfield, that's where PEDROIA is located. One ball, no strikes. I don't think I've seen, I think it's Hamilton anyway, a second baseman that close to the line, if you will. And Middlebrooks, as you pointed out, is playing a normal second base. Outfield straight around. Check in of Calhoun, easily back. Josh last night an 0 for 4 night, hitting 274, 8 home runs and 35 runs batted in. For his last 13 since the home run in Monday's game as he lifts this one out to left. Cespedes is there. The Angels are done. A leadoff single stranded at first. We're through 1 and we're scoreless.
The majors on the Carl's Jr. Sports Update. Young phenom making his home debut. A certain AL rival trying to continue a win streak tonight against an opponent they've had a lot of success against.
Yeah, that's a team. Not that this is any different from any other day of the week. I'm clueless. I'm stumped. Here's Mike Napoli to lead things off. Check swing foul. And it is 0-1. Napoli, Nava, and Bogaerts for Boston here in the second.
So clueless, huh?
Yeah. Napoli hitting 271. 13 home runs, 39 runs batted in. Still a breaking pitch in there. A battle of former battery mates, Weaver and Napoli. Napoli last year for Boston hit 259, 23 home runs and 92 runs batted in. One and two.
And 9 for 27 against his former battery mate with 2 home runs. Always felt that was the most difficult thing to do as a pitcher, is face your former catcher, because you figure he knows all your tendencies, what you're going to try to do in certain counts. More difficult to trick
your former catcher. And down goes Napoli on the breaking pitch. For the first out here in the second. Third strikeout already for Weaver.
And now it's time for a Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. Speaking of Weaver and the Boston Red Sox, Weaver beat Boston back in Game 2 of the 2009 American League Division Series at the Big A. Went 7 1/3, only give up 1 earned run. That was the series the Angels won. Swept the Red Sox. First series win ever. That point versus the Red Sox, and the last time the Halos have been in the postseason.
Daniel Nava will look at a strike, the right fielder. 256 average with a couple of home runs, 15 runs batted in. 70th game for Nava. Switch hitter better from the left side, 287 batting average. Had a fantastic year for Boston last year. 303. This one's popped up left side, and it's Eric Ibar with the call. 2 down.
Well, with that curveball you saw there, but back in the first inning for Weaver, it's such a devastating pitch. So important for Weaver to be successful. His breaking ball starts at the belt and ends up in the dirt. That sharp, big break, 12-6 break for Weaver makes him special. He also got ORTIZ on that pitch, and then got a pop-up on NAVA on that same exact slow curveball. What a great pitch it is for Weaver.
This is the youngsters, Xander Bogaerts, shortstop. 238 average, 8 home runs and 28 runs batted in. Just 21 years of age. Native of Aruba. Played in all 6 games last year in the World Series for Boston.
And what a splash he made as far as coming up in the biggest stage possible as a youngster.
Off speed. There's a called strike, 1-2. Had to play a lot of third base early on. Middlebrooks dealing with a couple of injuries. Now back to his shortstop position after the trade of Stephen Drew. This was lifted in the air to shallow right field. Cole Calhoun comes in. Jared Weaver has himself a 1-2-3 second. We'll head to the bottom of the inning, still scoreless. The Angels also coming up later in the game. We'll bring you the AT&T fan photo of the game. Tweet us your photo using hashtag WestFanPhoto. Could be shown in an upcoming broadcast. Alan Webster gave up a leadoff single to Cole Calhoun in the bottom of the first, then retire the next three. Trout, Pujols, and Hamilton on a strikeout and 2 fly ball outs. Eric Ibar batting .270 on the year, has 23 doubles, 3 triples, 6 home runs, 52 runs batted in. The leadoff spot last night with Ryu on the mound. Ended up going 0 for 3. 3 ground balls to short and a walk. Fastball on the outside corner. Middlebrooks in on the grass at third, try to take away the bunt from Ibar. Napoli deep at first. An 0-2 count.
Well, that fastball had some movement inside at 94. A lot of fastballs from Webster. He's trying to get a feel for the baseball and then be able to throw some strikes after walking 11 batters in 8 innings pitched so far at the major league level this season.
Untitled Chapter to second. Pedroia has it. One away. So Howie now steps to the plate. Mike Scioscia, as you pointed out in the open, looking for that offensive consistency. He just yet to find it for a prolonged period of time in the second, quote-unquote, second half. Since the All-Star break, now they've run into some pretty good pitching staffs, but the way this offense was clicking before the break, we thought it was going to be rather easy. This one's for the right field corner, but Nava was shading Howie over there. Easily makes the play for round number 2.
Well, you think off the bat, there's a good chance of being a ground rule double, but Nava got over there rather easily because that's where he was positioned.
So Freeze will bat here with 2 outs, nobody on. The Angels, since the All-Star break, as a team, have hit just .226, second worst in the American League. Only the Baltimore Orioles have hit worse since the break. Baltimore has been on a nice run as their pitching has kind of carried them over the last couple of weeks.
And they swung the bats today against St. Louis, that's for sure. Baltimore
up against Justin Masterson, got the start for St. Louis. One ball, 2 strikes. The Angels still second overall in runs scored, but since the All-Star break again, the Angels last in the American League in runs scored.
Well, Freeze has certainly been swinging the bat much better. His last 28 at bats, 11 hits, just under 400 batting average.
Little number to the right side. Pedroia comes in. The Halos go down in order. So Webster returns the favors. We've played 2 and still no score. Vasquez and Holt due up against Jared Weaver. And this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. 3 strikeouts, no walks, 1 hit allowed for Jared Weaver so far. Well, Middlebrooks, the third baseman, will lead things off in 195. Mentioned he has spent a couple of stints on the disabled list for Boston this year. Right calf strain in early April, and then in May until August the 1st, feeling a fractured right index finger as he pops this one up. Guy yeah, calling everybody off, makes a catch for out number 1.
A lot of fly ball action. And Weaver, as he prepares to start throwing pitches during the course of the game and in between innings, does this motion out on the mound just to get that arm loose to make sure he stays in that proper position. The reason why you do that is you get on top. When you get that full-on curveball, that's when you have your elbow in that position to be able to snap it over to get that 12-6 break. Weaver does it between every single inning just to make sure his arm is flexible, because he needs that curveball to be successful.
Buddy, I don't know about you, but that looks like it hurts.
No, that's the only time it doesn't hurt.
When you're purposely doing it?
Yes.
Christian Vasquez, the catcher, looks at his strike. 255 average for Vasquez, a very good defensive catcher. Has 11 runs batted in to start today. Swings and misses on the breaking ball. No balls, 2 strikes.
A very good defensive catcher. That's a good pitch.
It's a very good pitch, and
I think it froze everyone.
Caught the strike zone.
That's Dale Scott if it was up and out of the strike zone, but no, it got a lot of the strike zone. An 89-mile-an-hour pitch.
Slider down and away. Two-two offering. Slow curveball misses outside the full count.
And that's the frustrating thing. You think you make a perfect pitch on an 0-2 pitch. We say that so often. Right at that outside corner. Now it's a full count. Minimum at least 3 extra pitches in this at bat.
And this one's out to the alley in right center field. Vasquez on his way to second with a 1-out double. So a double instead of a strikeout, which is what he should have been on that 0-2 pitch. And a man in scoring position here for Boston with 1 out.
You're forced to challenge a young hitter with a fastball that was out over the plate, and that's a good swing for Vasquez going the other way. We talked about that's the need for Angel hitters to have that approach on fastballs away. Vasquez did exactly that.
Top of the order, and Brock Holt, the center fielder, who struck out. His first at bat, and that curveball misses low.
Weaver fans in the stands here tonight. Lots of them.
Changeup. Caught the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dale Scott with the delayed call.
Weaver 65 and 27 in his career here at the Big A with an ERA 2.65.
Weaver behind in the count here, 2-1 to Holt.
Holt, first time up, chased that pitch down, and in that time did not.
This one's line to left, a base hit. Hamilton playing shallow, so Vasquez has to stop at third base. So back-to-back hits with one out here in the third. Puts runners at the corners, and PEDROIA coming up.
Both hitters, their approach going the other way against Weaver. Another fastball that was up enough where he can get the good part of the bat on it. Charged well by Hamilton to make sure Vasquez did not score. You still have a potential double play set up with PEDROIA.
PEDROIA with a base hit to right. His first at bat. Calhoun in and shallow and a little bit toward the foul line at right field.
PEDROIA's rolled into 11 double plays.
So Vasquez at third base and Holt at first. Holt's 6 stolen bases, has been caught twice. Break the pitch in for a strike. They're scoreless at the Coliseum, Twins and the Athletics. It's got Kazmir on the mound for Oakland. Kyle Gibson, the righty, going for Minnesota. 0-1 downstairs. What a difference that non-call has made so far here in this third inning.
Yeah,
2 outs of the bases.
I know as a pitcher you're always supposed to move on. Everyone makes mistakes, but sometimes that can frustrate you and snowball into some bad pitches afterwards. And fastball to Vasquez up. Fastball to Holt was also elevated from Weaver. It still has that ability to make that clutch pitch the right time.
Long pause for Weaver, and here's the 1-1. PEDROIA fouls it back, but he waited nicely on that changeup.
He is a very good high ball hitter. He can get a fastball up there, off speed also. He is that one zone is down and in. You can get him to swing and miss that or hit the ball on the ground, but anything elevated, he is super quick with his hands and makes good contact on elevated pitches.
He'll turn 31 here in about less than 2 weeks. Behind in the count at 1-2. Breaking pitch, hook to left, and the Boston Red Sox will take a 1-0 lead as PEDROIA picks up his second hit. His 43rd run batted in. They get 3 straight hits now for the Red Sox.
Look at this curveball from Weaver, a pretty good curveball. But the most difficult thing for a pitcher to do is throw a perfect curveball after a changeup. Reason why? Because you've already shown him that similar speeds. Changeup at 77 followed by a curveball at 70. So the speed differential, not a lot of difference. Even though the break is different, their timing is on a slow curve after a changeup. That's why you saw Ionetta wanting to go fastball in. Weaver shook him off to a curveball.
So David Ortiz bats with 2 on and 1 out. Lays off the curveball. Ibar shading Ortiz up the middle with Holt standing at second base, PEDROIA at first. And that is in there for a strike. Got a fastball. I think Ortiz would like to have that one back just by his reaction backing out of the box.
Well, what amazing numbers he had last year in the World Series. Very dangerous hitter in big time moments. That's another one of those inside fastballs that got the corner once again.
Weaver not happy. Dale Scott not giving him that call. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. And that is down the line. Home run distance, but it is foul. Right size, wrong shape. Two.
Followed a fastball in with another fastball in. And Ortiz was ready this time. Just pulled it foul.
399 home runs as a Red Sox.
Ted Williams and Carl Yastrzemski with more. Wearing that Red Sox uniform.
Full count.
We wonder if they're going to go on the pitch here, especially if Freeze is well off the base at third. If anything to throw for me would be right to second base with Pedroia, because he has to wait on Holt to go if there's a swing and miss.
Cespedes, the man on deck. 3 straight hits for Boston here in the third with 1 out. Double by Vasquez started it off with a 3-2 pitch. Shot went out to the alley in right center. Hold the base hit the left. Pedroia base hit the left to give Boston a 1-0 lead. The runners go. The breaking pitch. Sky to left. Hamilton back a couple of steps. 2 down. Runners back to their respective bases.
Ortiz upset with himself. Thought he had a pitch to do some damage. Just got underneath it. Fly ball to left.
So 2 outs, 2 on, and Cespedes will be the man coming to the plate. A pop up to Eric Ibarn. Shallow left to end the first inning for Cespedes, so he's 0 for 1. Slow breaking pitch. In for a strike.
Danger zone against Cespedes.
A mistake breaking ball for a strike.
Well, it almost seems automatic for a hitter when you throw a pitch and it's a mistake pitch and they don't swing. Their mind is, I'm going to go hack in that very next pitch, and he expanded his zone on a low fastball at 88.
Well, that fly ball that hit to shallow left that Ibar caught in the first was on a pretty good fastball in. Jammed him. He's gone breaking pitch and now fastball. And he's ahead of the count at 0-2. 53 pitches thrown so far. Goes to the changeup. Hooked down the left field line. Now it is foul.
Let's check out the tools of the trade presented by Ram Truck. Speaking of Cespedes and that power arm he has. Saw it on display here at the Big A from the almost a foul pole in left field all the way in the air. Gets Howie Kendrick at the plate when he's a member of the Oakland A's. What an arm for Cespedes. 12 outfield assists. We saw a number of those assists from the outfield.
Another 0-2. The slider missing down the way.
Won a lot of pitches thrown for Weave already in this game here in the third inning. 55 of them, 26 in this inning. Boston's been always known as a club that will work counts, pitch counts very high. early on for starting pitchers.
Still with the possibility of get out of the city with just a run allowed. This one's down the line, and that is a fair ball on the chalk. Holt will score. Pedroia will come in to score. Cespedes with a 2 RBI double, and Boston's lead is now 3-0.
It's 27th double for Cespedes. And right on the chalk down the line. Got around that corner, allowing Pedroia to come all the way around from first to score the 3rd run of the game for Boston.
First RBIs as a Red Sox for YOENIS Cespedes. And the inning continues with Mike Napoli at the plate. A strikeout victim in the second.
Well, I still look at this Boston lineup and wondering why they have struggled to score runs, even with some injuries. Still very dangerous as far as the top part of this lineup.
A 3-run 3rd inning. That's exactly what happened last night against the Dodgers. C.J. Wilson on the mound, giving up those 3 runs. Change up, just a little bit high. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Weaver yelling now at Dale Scott. A carryover perhaps of the 0-2 pitch that should have been strike 3 on Christian Vasquez. And the second out of the 3rd. It snowballed from that point forward. 2-0. High, 3-0.
And there's no question that Napoli will be swinging 3-0 if he has a pitch he can do some damage to it.
And there's the first walk of the night. Might prompt a visit, and it does. Mike Butcher coming out. 7 men have been to the plate here in the 3rd inning.
Frustrated look from Weaver at this point. Dale Scott's going to make it out to the mound right there. Part of this is for Mike Butcher to ask Dale Scott where a number of these pitches that Weaver has thrown, where are they located? Why are they being called pitches out of the zone? That's exactly was the case. Want to know where those pitches are at. Dale Scott keeps insinuating, keeps saying those pitches are high and out of the strike zone.
So now 2 on, 2 outs. Daniel Nava, the batter. Right fielder popped up to Ibar in the second. Five hits for Boston, 4 here in the 3rd. The Angels, when they come to bat in the bottom of the inning, have Navarro, Iannetta, and Calhoun due up 8-9 and 1.
Well, this changeup, middle of the plate and at the knees.
Well, if you're not going to call the top part of the strike zone, you got to call the bottom part at least.
And that's the thing. You look for an umpire to be consistent with his strike zone.
This one lifted to left, playable for Hamilton. And the top of the 3rd is complete, but Boston strikes for 3 runs, and Weaver's still barking at Dale Scott. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. Red Sox leading at 3-0. Taking on the Red Sox. Remember, it's a 6:05 start. Fans in attendance will receive a drawstring backpack courtesy of Nitto Tire while supplies last. Be sure to purchase your tickets at angels.com or by swinging by the Angels Stated Ticket Office. Alan Webster had a long time to digest the top of the third inning as his team scored 3 runs for him. He's coming off a 1-2-3 seconds. Matter of fact, he's retired 6 straight since giving up a leadoff single to Cole Calhoun.
A lot of strikes for him. 20 pitches thrown, 15 in the strike zone for a guy that walked 11 batters in 8 innings pitched this season.
After Navarro, the DH tonight, hitting .284 with 9 doubles, a home run, and 9 runs batted in. Came in as a pinch hitter last night in the 8th inning against Jamie Wright. It grounded out. Navarro had to start at DH 2 nights ago. 1-0 pitch. It's 2 balls, no strikes now. Maybe perhaps with this offense, especially with the struggles that they continue to have, they'll be a little patient with Webster, make him work some counts. It's been erratic at times. His first 2 starts.
Yeah, just try to see some pitches. You've never faced him before anyhow. Force him to throw some strikes.
3 balls, no strikes.
And that definitely plays in your mind when you're a young pitcher. You've had a tough time throwing strikes first couple of innings, very effective, and all of a sudden you go back out and you're 3-0 right away.
And there's a 4-pitch walk. The Angels get their second base runner. The sign that are coming up. Now Webster did pitch in the big leagues last year, 8 games, 7 starts, had a 1-2 mark and an 8.60 ERA. Last year in the big league, same thing with the walks. 18 walks and 30 in the 3rd innings. Iannetta hitting .263 with 5 home runs and 31 runs batted in. Pulls this one down the line. That's a fair ball. Effort on his way to 3rd. Iannetta on his way to 2nd and misplayed it left by Cespedes. The Angels will get a run as they trail it now 3-1.
Boy, does Iannetta love facing Boston. Very good numbers in his career. And right down the line, picking up another double. 17 for the season for Iannetta. Well down the line as Cespedes tried to cut the angle. The ball got by him. That's a dangerous play when you go that aggressively in there towards that corner. Because of that mistake, Navarro is able to score the first run of the game for the Angels. Good to see the offense respond right back.
Yeah. It almost looked as if Cespedes playing that corner area like he's played it for the first time.
It almost looked like he was going to try to throw Navarro out of 3rd base. That's the kind of play as a left fielder. You just played off the wall, content to keep it 2nd and 3rd.
Calhoun pulls this one to the right side. Pedroia is there. And there's the first out of the inning as Iannetta advances to 3rd.
Aggressively going down in that corner, and then it bounces and gets away from him. But a lot of times you'll see as a left fielder knowing it's going to be a double, you just play that off the wall and get it in quickly to your cutoff man. That'll keep Navarro at 3rd base.
So instead of taking that angle, maybe run out to the yellow stripe in the corner there, just let the ball come to you.
Because if it goes, with that kind of aggressive route that he took, gets away from a little further, then you're talking about a triple. And then that run would have scored on the ground ball out. You still have an opportunity now with that productive out by Calhoun for Mike Trout to bring home Iannetta. Still, sometimes you need to be cautious in the outfield.
Trout 0 for 1 with a strikeout. The only punch out that Webster's picked up. Infield back, of course. 3-1 Boston here in the 3rd. Iannetta standing at 3rd base. 1-0 pitch. This is out towards center field. It'll chase Holt back. And he will make the catch on the warning track. Coming into score is Chris Iannetta. It's a sac fly for Mike Trout. The Angels trailing by a run now.
82nd RBI for Trout. Boy, just missed hitting that one out to center field. Well hit, good approach. High fives in that dugout. But also, keep in mind that they had bat for Calhoun when he hit the ball to the right side of the infield to advance Iannetta, who eventually scores the second run of the game for the Angels.
So 2 outs and the bases clear, and Pujols will bat. He'll face the overshift with 3 guys on the left side of the infield. Napoli playing in and between first and second. One and 0. Albert 0 for 1, a fly ball to center field the first inning. Two balls, no strikes. You figure it's got to creep into your mind there as a young man sitting in that dugout, knowing what he has done so far at the big league level with the walks and the like. You see his team score 3 runs, and then you see the lineup that, oh, I got to go back out there now with a lead. And Albert chases what would have been ball 3.
But even looking at his body language, he's still a youngster. See, the game is starting to speed up for him. He's trying to muscle up on some pitches. Even that breaking ball was fortunate enough for him that Albert chased out of the zone. And he also has that thing in his mind right now where if I make a mistake against some of these hitters that the Angels are going to bring up against me, I'm going to be in trouble.
3 balls and a strike. I like his arm.
No, there's no question.
Yeah.
He's got life on his fastball.
No doubt. Especially just 24 years of age.
Albert's looking for something on the inner half of the plate. Great fastball count.
Got a breaking ball. Caught the inside corner.
Well, he threw him a 2-0 breaking ball and a 3-1 breaking ball. Iannetta continues to swing the bat well against the Red Sox.
There's the payoff pitch, and that is ball 4. So second walk of the inning. We'll put a man on and we'll bring up Hamilton. John Fairley, very successful, highly touted pitching coach before becoming a big league manager.
Has the respect of his team. Delegates a lot of authority to his coaching staff also.
Hamilton, a fly ball to left field in the first inning, 0 for 1. Takes down and in. The Boston strikes for 3 in the top of the third. The Angels so far have put 2 on the board. Here's the 1-0. Bouncer to first. Inning comes to an end, but the Angels do strike for 2 and leave a man on. 3 complete. Boston leads at 3-2. Tomorrow is another Saturday night spectacular fireworks show presented by Wells Fargo after the Angels take on the Sox at 6:05. Purchase your tickets today at the Angel Stadium ticket office or by logging on at angels.com.
Nice. It's been a while.
It has. Bottom third of the order. Bogaerts takes upstairs. Bogaerts, Middlebrooks, and Vasquez to face Jared Weaver. Bogaerts hit a fly ball to right to end the second. So the shortstop 0 for 1. Fouls this one off. Evens up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. He wanted appeal and he did not go. I believe Weaver's reaction is pretty much our reaction.
There's no question he crossed the plate.
This one down to center. Chasing Trout back, still moving back on it. And will make the catch for the first out.
Hit well by Bogaerts, but ran down by Trout in center field. Both center fielders had to make a good play already in this game.
Will Middlebrooks, third baseman, looks at strike 1. This one's blind to center, and it'll fall in for a base hit. Man on with 1 away. Christian Vasquez, the catcher, coming up, and it was Vasquez who started off the rally for Boston in the third inning. Behind the count at 0-2. Weaver did not get a call on what should have been strike 3. It went to 3-2, and then Vasquez doubled to the alley at right center. Holt followed with a single, as did Pedroia. With 2 outs, Cespedes had a 2 RBI double down the left field line. Native of Bayamon, Puerto Rico. Could go to the top defender in the Red Sox system the last 3 seasons.
Very good throwing arms, throwing out 30% of would-be base stealers this season.
Built like Carlos Ruiz a little bit. Chooch.
See him in a couple days.
Yeah, runner goes, a throw down to second base, and it is high, and it's a stolen base for Will Middlebrooks. That's his first of the year.
Hit and run put on. Vasquez unable to make contact, but the high throw from Mayanetta, and Middlebrooks slides in. First stolen base of the season.
1 ball, 1 strike. Oh, chopper to Freeze. 2 down.
Center fielder, number 26, Brock Holt.
Middlebrooks remains at second base, and it's Brock Holt coming back up. Third plate appearance for him tonight. 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. A 26-year-old, product of Rice University. 9th round pick by the Pirates, 2009. Part of a 6-player deal. Joel Hanrahan trade. Hanrahan and Holt going to Boston. Melanson going back to Pittsburgh. A couple of other guys. 2 balls, no strikes. Boston with 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. And 3 men left on base.
Middlebrooks trying to get that big secondary lead. Weaver's paying attention to him. Iannetta thought about a back pick.
.3-0 count. Pedroia on deck. The Angels with 2 runs, 2 hits. 2 men stranded. 75 pitches thrown by Jared so far. And a long third. 34 pitches in that 3rd inning.
When if you're Josh Hamilton, you have to be prepared to come in on a fly ball your way in left field. Weaver's pitching Holt away, and a base hit that way last at bat.
That caught the inside corner. Full count. Holt playing in his 8th game, 5th start at center field. He has bounced around everywhere for John Farrell. Shortstop, 3rd, 1st, left, right, center, 2nd base. He's played all positions, again, pitcher and catcher. There's the payoff. Change up upstairs, and he walked him. 2nd walk issued by Weaver. Pedroia will bat with 2 outs and 2 on. Pedroia, a couple of singles, 1 to right, 1 to left. The last one brought home a run. He's also scored a run.
With just 5 for 28 coming into the game in his career versus Weaver, but 2 very good swings in this game so far.
Rolled foul. Evens up the count. Hamilton playing shallow and left, as is Calhoun at right. Middlebrooks, not a burner by any stretch of the imagination over at 2nd base, so something softly hit to the outfield might be trouble, but if Pedroia hits it squared up, one of the corner outfielders or even to TROUT, a possibility of a play at the plate. 2-1. And not many quick outs for Weaver over the last couple of innings. To start the game, there were.
He was locating his curveball and slider very well. That slider was located well.
Up in Oakland, the A's have struck for 3 runs. They lead at 3-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Here it's 3-2 Boston. Just trying to finish off this top of the 4th. 82 pitches so far. 2 men on base. 2-2 pitch. Breaking pitch, rolled foul.
.34 pitches in the 3rd, 20 here in the 4th for Weaver. 83 total. It's a big pitch right here to get a very good hitter out in Pedroia.
2-2, ground to short. High ball. Kendrick, they force out Holt. The inning is over. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Ibar, Kendrick, and Freeze coming up for the Angels, down by 1. Fourth inning, a tomorrow don't miss doubleheader action on Fox Sports 1. The Indians are in the Bronx to take on the Yankees and the Cardinals, and John Lackey taking on the Baltimore Orioles. Coverage begins tomorrow 9:30 a.m. Pacific, only on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Alan Webster back to work, and Jared Weaver, it's a lot of work for him over the last couple of innings.
Yeah, a lot of pitches thrown, looking for his offense to pick him up. Wouldn't be surprised if Eric Aybar drags a bunt towards the first baseline, especially Napoli playing back. Going to force Webster to have coverage on that side of the field if he does drag a bunt down the line.
Aybar looks at a strike. Off speed pitch from Webster. Eric grounded down to Pedroia to lead off the second. Back-to-back off speed.
Amazing, only 4 players left in that Angel club that beat the Red Sox in that division series in 2009.
I believe that 4 trumps the Red Sox. What they have left. This one's pulled foul.
Yeah, you only have Pedroia, ORTIZ.
I believe that's it.
That could be it. Ah, the changing times in baseball.
Yep. One-two. Popped up on the third base side. Middlebrooks gets hit. Puts it away for the first out.
Play a lot of off-speed pitches to Eric Aybar and then at bat.
Second baseman, number 47, Howie.
So Howie will now bat. Howie won for his last 16. Fly ball to right in the second inning. Webster with 1 strikeout, 2 walks, both walks coming in the third inning. Angels sending 6 men to the plate in the third, scoring twice. It's 2 balls, no strikes.
And Howie hit that ball well against Webster his first at bat. NAVA tracked down right in front of the short wall in right field.
With a slider. Cool cut action of that fastball.
And he's thrown now twice. He did it to Pujols, so now Howie is behind in the count 2-0. He's thrown a 2-0 slider. It's something you have to remember, especially since you've never faced him before. You try to remember that when you're on the bench as you prepare to face him again.
Backs it up with another.
Now, if he gets that one working, he's more difficult to hit. His fastball is good. That slider's sharp.
Back up the middle, off the mound. Pedroia with a dive, can't come up with it.
Pitchers. You have 2 very good sliders in a row against a hitter, and then you try to sneak a fastball in. Howie, inside out approach, right back up the middle for a base hit. And just under the leg. Pedroia unable to make the play on that. Baseball up the middle by Howie. That batting average career-wise back around 320 against the Red Sox for Kendrick.
Snaps it over 10 for him. And here's Freeze. Bounced out to Pedroia to end the second, so David 0 for 1.
Now he's got to be ready for Vasquez. He likes the back pick at first base also.
Base hit for Kendrick, the third hit for the Angels tonight. Just a little bit high, apparently, at least according to Dale Scott. That's 1-1. That's a pitch, too, for David Freese. That's a little slider up.
Not that I remember things like that, but Dale Scott, I always remember being a very good hitter's umpire.
But it's holding true tonight.
Not that I don't recall that at all.
Freese lines with the PEDROIA, turned into a double play. 4 complete. And Boston maintains a 3-2 lead. Coming into third, the Red Sox had 8 men to the plate to score 3 times. The Angels in the bottom of the inning had 6 men to the plate, scored twice. Weaver back to work. It's been a tough late afternoon, early evening for Jared Weaver as far as the pitch count is concerned. You know, when you've got both broadcast crews, ourselves and the fine young men next door in Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy, shaking their heads at the strike zone tonight, it kind of tells you what's going on for both sides.
Like I said, Dale Scott is a very good hitter's umpire.
David Ortiz leading things off, and the first one's up and away.
This is a tough part of the lineup for the Red Sox for Weaver, and he needs a quick inning, especially already with 85 pitches thrown.
Ortiz, Cespedes, and Napoli for Boston here in the 5th. Ortiz tonight 0 for 2, a strikeout on the first and a fly ball to left. Now he's in the third. Upstairs, 3 balls, no strikes. Caught the inside corner. David Ortiz doesn't like it.
Man, it got a lot of the inside corner. Changeup. You were knowing that Ortiz would be swinging with the green light on a 3-0 count to him, a changeup. You know, I would avoid that part of the plate unless you go up and in.
Full count.
Well, you see a great view of the curveball. That starts around the letters and ends up below the knees. Sharp break and at 67 miles per hour.
Changeup lifted out to center. Trout is there. One away. Hey, folks, the Angels host the Phillies Tuesday and Wednesday, both nights. A 7:05 start. The Phillies renowned mascot. The Philly Fanatic will be taking his summer vacation here to the Big A and will be on hand for both games. Make your plans to meet him and watch his antics. Purchase your tickets today at the Angel Stadium ticket office or by logging on at angels.com. Dude, I don't think I've ever seen you that pumped up for a mascot.
Yes, the Fanatic.
I thought you had like this thing like you do with clowns, that you don't like mascots.
But it's the Fanatic, though.
You make exceptions?
Yes.
That's for the stakes upstairs for ball one. So if he comes up to the booth, or it comes up to the booth, are you going to be all right with that?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, what, like he's your homeboy? You guys going to bring you some cheesesteaks?
No.
The overrated cheesesteaks? I'm just
wow.
Steak them in Velveeta, right?
I beg to differ, sir.
Cespedes pops this one up. Pujols in the foul territory, makes a catch, 2 down. What is the best cheesesteak? I mean, the best ingredients for cheesesteak.
It's for me. It's always the roll, the Amoroso roll back in Philly. That's the key. As Albert makes a play on that one, and the steak, ribeye steak, sliced well.
It's ribeye?
Yes. It's not steakum.
It's not steakum.
And the provolone cheese.
The provolone?
Yes.
All right.
D'Alessandro's back in my neck of the woods.
That's your.
Yes.
That's your. Okay.
Hey, Jimmy Fallon went there just a few weeks ago.
And it's got to be good as Napoli hits a towering shot out to deep left. Hamilton back to the wall, and that is gone. A towering home run for Mike Napoli makes it 4-2 Boston.
Well, we said just that tough part of the lineup for the Red Sox against Weaver. That's his 3rd career home run against Weaver. 14th of his career versus the Angels. Boy, fastball, inner half of the plate. And Napoli, when he hits his home runs, they're not on the line. They're majestic high home runs over a 390 sign in left center field.
19th home run allowed by Weaver. This one comes with 2 outs. The base is clear. A 2-run lead now for Boston. Nava takes outside. 0 for 2 is Daniel Nava. A pop to short and a fly ball to left. 86th home run hit by Boston this year.
Boy, the Angels coming in this game have scored over 100 more runs than the Red Sox. Certainly a surprise when you consider where the Red Sox play the majority of their games at Fenway Park, a very good hitter's yard. Boy, it is always difficult to repeat after winning a world championship.
Two balls, 2 strikes. (4-2) Boston here in the 5th. The Angels have 8, 9, and 1 coming up in the bottom of the inning. Next pitch, his 100th of the night. Here's a pitch. This one lifted to left center. Not very deep. Hamilton over. And the inning comes to an end, but Napoli makes it a 2-run deficit for the Angels with his 14th home run of the year. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. 4-2 Boston. Get Your Red On Week continues right here on Fox Sports West. Tomorrow, Halos taking on the Red Sox at Game 2 of this 3-game set. You have Richards taking the mound. Our complete coverage begins tomorrow at 5:30, starting with Angels Live. It's all part of Get Your Red On Week right here on Fox Sports West. Hear the music in the background. That can only mean that Efren Navarro will lead things off for the Angels here at the bottom of the 5th. Efren, leadoff walk for him in the 3rd. Alan Webster back to work. First one's outside. Down and in.
A tough time throwing strikes to Navarro. Walked him on 5 pitches. First at bat, 2-0 right away against him.
Two-0 pitch. Outside, 3 balls, no strikes. Navarro with that walk in the 3rd. It was actually a 4-pitch walk that started it off. Chris Iannetta doubled down the left field line. Three and 1. Webster, I mean, not a whole lot of trouble tonight, even when he did have multiple base runners in that 3rd inning. Only threw 16 pitches. That's the most pitches he's thrown in any one inning. Fewest 8. That was in the 2nd. As Navarro lifts one out toward right. Playable for Nava. 1 out. Brings up Iannetta. Double, his 17th, the RBI, his 32nd.
$15 for 38 in his career versus Boston. Grew up in that area.
You know what? No RBI for Iannetta on that double. Charged Cespedes with the error as he cuts through that one. And it's an 0-1 count. Longest outing this year. Granted, it's only been 2 in the big leagues for this young man. 5 1/3. That was his first start against Tampa. Picked up the win. He's yet to throw that slider for a strike, by the way. It's been on the outside part of the plate to right-handed batters, and we've seen some odd swings against it.
Yeah, it's that guessing, thinking it's going to be a fastball and a fastball count.
That one caught the plate. But Iannetta put it off the end of the bat. Cespedes puts it away for out number 2. Up steps Cole Calhoun. Four 0 Oakland in the bottom of the 6th inning. They've got a couple of men in scoring position. And it goes back to what Mike Scioscia likes to say all the time. He's not worried about the scoreboard if you don't take care of your own business, and it's kind of a moot point. And it's true. And the Angels have yet to get it going since the All-Star break. Playing .500 baseball the rest of the way is not going to cut it when you've got so many teams chasing you.
Yeah, he's just looking for that offense that we saw just before the All-Star break, where 1 through 9 consistent at bats. If somebody struggled that particular night, somebody else was picking them up with a very good at bat. We're averaging over 5 runs a game before the All-Star break.
1 ball, 1 strike. So she'll try to get Weaver to get through the 6th inning with the pitch count up there. Cole 1 for 2 with a base hit and a ground out. He rips this one into right field. It's a base hit, and it'll bring up Mike Trout. An opportunity to tie it up with 1 swing of the bat.
2-hit night for Calhoun.
Number 27, Trout.
Good job as far as getting through the baseball. Change up, elevate it, stay back, barrel the bat, and hit well in the right field for Calhoun.
You mentioned the multi-hit games, first since July 27th here against the Tigers. And now Trout will bat. He's 0 for 1, struck out in the first and hit a deep fly ball to center field that resulted in a run. Sac fly for Mike, picking up his 82nd run batted in. And his 80th RBI in the number 2 spot in the order. Allen's down low for ball 1. That sets a new record for RBIs in the number 2 spot in the order, breaking Jim Edmonds' 1995 record, 79.
Pretty impressive when you think about it. When you have 80 RBI from the number 2 spot, I think the closest in that spot in the major leagues around 49 RBI.
1-0 pitch in there. Calhoun over at first base with a 2-out single. And check in on him. A good crowd tonight. Certainly not what we've seen the last 2 nights here at the Freeway Series. 43,669 2 nights ago. Last night 44,561. Biggest crowd since the renovation here at the Big A. 1-1 pitch. And it's lifted in the air to right. Playable for NAVA. And that'll do it for the Halos here in the 5th. 5 complete. Boston still on top 4-2.
Cespedes, the scoring going for Boston, doubles down the left field line, scoring 2. Then Chris Iannetta, with the help of Cespedes down the line, the baseball got away from him, scores 1. Eventually ended up with coming around himself on a sac fly. And then Mike Napoli against his former team once again a home run, his 14th career home run against the Angels, giving Boston a 4-2 lead.
Top of the 6th inning, Jared Weaver back to work. 100 pitches thrown. 101st is in for a strike. Bogaerts, Middlebrooks, and Vasquez. The bottom third of the order is Jason Grilli. He's now getting ready for the Angels just in case. Xander Bogaerts 0 for 2. A fly ball to right and a fly ball to center. Good changeup. One down.
Third baseman, number
Check out
16,
Jared Weaver's pitch arsenal this season. 53% fastballs, 19% changeups, 28% breakable. That's slider and curveball combination. But tonight, just 42% of his pitches have been fastball. That's down significantly to his season total. Changeup 21%, breakable 37%. His loss basically tells you he's lost trust in his fastball and the command of that pitch. We said that to start the game, that would be an important pitch for him tonight. Fastball and fastball command.
And the pitch that Napoli hit out was a fastball that was up. There's Grilli. Two balls, no strikes now on the Will Middlebrooks, the third baseman. 1 for 2. Base hit to center in the 4th.
His best fastballs 89 tonight, has not touched 90 at all. Slowest pitch, a 67-mile-an-hour breaker ball. Make that the 66-mile-an-hour breaker ball.
Change it, popped up. Iannetta with the mask off. 2 down.
2 quick outs in this innings on changeups.
number 55, Christian Vasquez.
Five and 2/3, 7 hits, including the home run. 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. First pitch swinging Vasquez. That is a fair ball. And this inning is over. A 1-2-3 inning for Weaver. Second time tonight he's retired the side in order. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Pujols, Hamilton, and Ibar coming up for the Angels. Still down 4-2.
The plate, the key to the game. Welcome to the machine. Hit a ball well. It was called the first at bat. worked a walk. Second at bat, Albert needing to lead this offense back to where it was just before the All-Star break.
Albert to lead things off here gets Alan Webster. 5 innings for him, 1 strikeout, 2 walks. And the Angels have managed just 4 hits against the right-hander. And Webster is taken to the old Red Sox ways of slowing things down on the pitching mound. He takes his time getting out there. None better than Josh Beckett in that role. Although Clay Buchholz,
I'm going to say we'll see that tomorrow night.
Yep, he does a great job. Pujols 0 for 1 with a fly ball to center and a walk.
Trying to remember what he did against Pujols last at bat. A couple fastballs out of the zone, and he threw a slider that was out of the zone that Albert chased. Eventually worked a walk.
One ball, 1 strike. Three infielders on the left side for Boston with Albert up. Taps this one foul back behind the plate.
With a fastball, slider, followed by a changeup.
One-two count. Check swing. Did not go. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ben May, the first base umpire. Quinn Walcott, third base, both minor league umpires. Maybe a chance to the big league time. Some of the veterans go on vacation throughout the year. And got him with the off-speed pitch. Second strikeout of the night.
And now it's time for our Carl's Jr. Sports update around the majors. As the A's go for their 11th straight win versus the Minnesota Twins. Well, they're up 6-1 with 2 men on, though. Minnesota in the top of the 7th. And Cubs phenom Javier Baez makes his Wrigley Field debut. Had a base hit his first at bat. He had 3 home runs in his first 3 games in the majors. 21-year-old. Tremendous talent. A lot of bright hopes there for Chicago Cubs fans with those youngsters getting a chance to play.
Hamilton hit by a pitch on the breaking ball, so he'll take his base. Ibar will step to the plate now.
And on the back foot, the toe area, the back foot. First batter that Webster has hit this season.
Ibar pulls the first one foul. Ibar 2 for his last 20 as Kevin Jepson is now loosening alongside Jason Grilli. Two strikeouts, 2 walks, 4 hits allowed for Webster. Got into some trouble in the 3rd inning, gave up 2 runs, but that has been it. And a whole lot of stress since then. Pulled down the line. That is just foul. Eric saw a lot of off-speed pitches in his previous at-bat. He's seen a couple already here in this one. So fouled off the left. Got a fastball up.
Yeah, you would think the very next pitch will be either a slider or a changeup to Ibar.
One way or the other, Jared Weaver is done after 6 innings. You got the top of the order coming up for Boston. Fouled off the body. Three in the third for Boston, 1 in the 5th. That was Napoli's home run. Angels with 2 in the bottom of the 3rd. That has been the scoring so far in this one. Up in Oakland in 6-2 A's. Top of the 7th.
Seattle winning again tonight. It's Iwakuma on the mound for the Mariners.
Yep. Kansas City defeated the San Francisco Giants. Tigers ended up beating Toronto tonight, so Kansas City remains 2.5 back. Royals own the second wild card right now. They're now 61 and 53. This one out to shallow center. Holt is there. 2 outs.
Second baseman, number 27, Howie.
You got the Angels in the #1 wild card spot, then Kansas City. And then you've got New York, Seattle, and Toronto at the start of the day. All a half game out of that second wild card spot. I mentioned Toronto lost. Yankees defeated Cleveland 10-6. Seattle leading. Kendrick at the play with 2 outs, and he'll look at a strike. Struggles have continued for this Angels offense here tonight. Managed just 2 hits last night. Picked up 4 tonight so far. Oh, 2. Now he 1 for 2, a base hit up the middle in the 4th inning.
He threw him a lot of good breaking balls last at bat. Then he threw Howie a fastball, and Howie had the ground ball right by him and up the middle for a base hit.
Yeah, the constant theme, especially over the last couple of games now for the Angels, is that there have been very few adjustments made throughout the game. It was up and in. 1 and 2.
Especially seeing from a lot of pitchers they faced since the All-Star break, a lot of pitches away, whether it's sliders, fastballs, trying to pull out of those pitches, especially the all-speed pitches away.
The inning comes to an end on the strikeout, and we've played 6 now here at Angel Stadium. Still 4-2 Boston. By Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better. Call 1-855-1TWC. By the 2014 Camry at your Toyota dealer today. We make it easy. And by AT&T Uverse TV, mobilizing your world. Top of the 7th here at Angel Stadium, 4-2. Boston on top. 7 hits for the Red Sox, 4 for the Angels. New pitcher on for the Halos. It's Jason Grilli, our first relief pitcher delivered by the UPS store. Grilli pitching in his 20th game as an Angel. 1-1 record in the 2.76 ERA. Acquired in a deal. Pittsburgh Pirates in exchange for Ernesto Frieri, who, by the way, was designated for assignment today by the Pirates.
And it's been a struggle for Ernesto over there with Pittsburgh. But Grilli's done a very good job for the Angels.
One, 2, and 3 for Boston here in the 7th. Holt, Pedroia, and Ortiz. Weaver tonight, 6 innings, 4 runs, all earned, 7 hits. Gave up the home run to Napoli, 3 strikeouts and 2 walks. First one upstairs. Grilli pitched on Wednesday through 15 pitches. With 1 inning, allowed a hit and had 1 strikeout. Holt, the center fielder, a strikeout, a single, and a walk. It's a 1-for-2 night. Two balls, no strikes. Painted that fastball on the outside corner. I was going back through my notes as far as this Boston team and the struggles they've had, especially from the pitching standpoint, since the All-Star break. They've walked a Major League Baseball high 59 batters since the All-Star break. And 41% of those have scored. And you got a kid on the mound today, 11 walks in 8 innings in the big leagues this year. And the Angels have walked twice, but it seems like just to continue to help him a little bit. Yeah, granted, I know it's the first time they've seen him,
but they're letting him get comfortable.
Yeah.
Keep that stress on him from the get-go. And all of a sudden those pitches aren't consistently hitting the outside corner. He's been pretty solid so far in this game.
Well, tonight he has matched his career high in innings pitched in a start with 6. They start a total of 79 pitches. That pitch missed down. And it's a full count on Holt. Bouncer over to second. Now he has it. 1 down. Minnesota dropped a 5 spot on Oakland in the top of the 7th.
Still hitting too.
It's 6-5. Oakland. That game now just moved to the bottom of the 7th, so not a bad inning for Minnesota. 1 out, nobody on, and Dustin Pedroia at the plate. 2 for 3 night for him. A couple of singles and an RBI. First pitch strike. Two more against Boston tomorrow night, 6:05. Sunday afternoon, 12:35, and then the Angels have an off day on Monday. Phillies in town for 2. And another off day on Thursday. It'll be a travel day as the Angels kick off a road trip a week from tonight in Texas. 3 against the Rangers. Then it's up to Fenway Park for a 4-game series. And 2 weeks from tonight at the Coliseum in Oakland for a 3-game set. That includes a Sunday night baseball game.
Well, that's a pretty good slider. Like, really not real happy with this call from Dale Scott. And that's all over the strike zone.
Not only that, I mean, as a catcher, you know, I know we talked a lot about catcher's movement back there this year. I mean, that's as quiet as you can be as a catcher to make catch on a breaking ball. 3 balls, 1 strike. Yeah, there are times where a breaking pitcher change up, kind of as a catcher you drift toward the ball and maybe you block the umpire's view, but yeah, what a perfect pitch, not called. Big poppy on that. Full count.
Look, really has some good life on his fastball when he's able to locate it away with movement. That's a 2-seam fastball. Well, you would think you go right back out there again with a fastball or your slider.
That one rifled into the club seats. Count remains at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Breaking pitch lifted to left. Hamilton moving back on it. 2 down.
Just enough towards the end of the bat to keep it in the yard. Said Pedroia likes pitches that are elevated. That's an elevated breaking pitch. Slider was upstairs.
Ortiz at the plate, 0 for 3. And strike out, a couple of fly ball outs. Takes a strike. When the Angels bat in the bottom of the 7th, it'll be Freese, Navarro, and Ainetta coming to the plate. That one missed outside, and it evens up the count. Two and 1. Originally a Minnesota Twin, David Ortiz. Traded to Boston for infielder Dave HOLT. Two one.
Cuts through that one. He doesn't get cheated a whole lot, especially on fastballs.
Two now. This one's fouled off to the left. Oh man, what a catch up in the upper deck. Leaning over the railing with his hat. Those usually have the tendency to have the ball knock the hat out of your hand.
It drifts on. You lose the hat and the baseball.
Yeah. Still at 2 balls, 2 strikes, trying to finish off the 7th inning. There it is.
Oh, nice play.
Yeah.
Fans down below thinking that baseball is going to work its way down there.
Guy below was looking for a hat.
Yeah.
He didn't want to buy one of the team's toy. He's hoping that thing just fell right in his lap. Hang with him. 2-2. Bounce foul. Good battle here. You see Ortiz just angry with himself. Thought he had a pitch drive there. .21 pitches thrown by Grilly. 2 outs here in the 7th. Trying to keep this a 2-run deficit. Swing and a miss. Down goes Ortiz, and Grilly retires the side in order. He's pumped. 7th inning stretch time here at the Big A. 4-2 Boston. Thrilled with the strikeout of David Ortiz to get the Angels back in the dugout. See what the Angels offense can do against Allen Webster. Time now for the AT&T fan photo of the game. Remember to tweet your photos using hashtag WestFanPhoto, and your photo could be shown in an upcoming game broadcast. It's Tim, the fish, Jake Fish himself. Keep sending us those pics. Hashtag WestFanPhoto.
The Big Papi loves those big moments. He wasn't going to get cheated on a swing.
David Freese, Efren Navarro, Chris Iannetta. First one, a breaking ball for a strike. Allen Webster, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks, 4 hits allowed against the Angels tonight. And that hit him. Ran that fastball in. Question is, where did it get him? Did he catch that ball?
That always makes you feel good when you're on the mound.
Second hit batter for Webster.
Throws a fastball in.
He caught it.
He still has the baseball underneath his arm at that point. And there it is. All he needs to do is throw it back.
Oh, yeah, that'd be real good, right? Flip it underhand to the pitcher. There you go, big guy. And the Angels have the leadoff man on. Here's Navarro. They'll look at an off-speed pitch for a strike. Efren with a walk and a run scored back in the 3rd inning. Hit a fly ball to right in the 5th. Third time tonight the Angels have had their leadoff man reach. This one's out toward right center field. Not very deep. NAVA comes in, puts it away. One down.
Now it's time for AT&T U-verse Rewind. Speaking of Big Papi versus Grilly. And the long it back goes upstairs with the fastball, the fist pump, like Grilly going off the mound, and then the stare down. And Big Papi walking him all the way back said, yeah, I'll remember you later on in the series. But for me, I like that emotion from Grilly. Ortiz is known to, when he hits a good home run, to take a little bit of time going around the bases.
Well, he has said it himself, right? There's nothing wrong with celebrating.
Exactly.
CHRYSLER off the end of the bat. Skies on the shallow left. CESPEDES comes racing in. Calls off BOGAERTS. Just like that, 2 outs. Tommy Lane, the left-hander, and Edward Mujica, the right-hander, getting ready for Boston. Cole Calhoun coming to the plate.
Cole has seen the ball the best tonight.
That might be it, too, with Lane getting ready. And Cole with a couple of hits tonight, and that's going to be it for Allen Webster. Sure enough. Career high for him, 6 2/3 innings. 2 runs allowed. He's responsible for the man at first base. We ever since the pitching change. We're in the bottom of the 7th. 4-2 Boston. Man on, and Cole Calhoun coming to the plate. Here's a look at the starters for tomorrow, presented by Honda. Clay Buchholz for Boston, Garrett Richards for the Angels.
Boy, coming off that outstanding shutout of the Dodgers on Monday. 12-4 on the season, 2.58 ERA. Buchholz has struggled. Last season was 12-1 with an ERA 1.74. Battled some injuries. This season, inconsistent ERA over 6.
6 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks, 2 hit batters. So in and out, who's in, who's out. Webster is out, and Tommy Lane, the lefty, is now on in relief. 6th game in the big leagues, no records. No record, I should say. 2.08 ERA. That's the 6th game this year in the big leagues.
His fastball is 88-93. There was a cut fastball, a lot of cut fastballs, and a curveball.
Facing Cole Calhoun. First one is outside. Lane at AAA Pawtucket, a 5-1 mark and a 1.50 ERA with 11 saves. Colt 2 for 3, 2 singles and a ground out.
This might be a one batter thing for Lane.
Peak is ready to go. Trout on deck. 2 balls, no strikes. Freeze hit by a pitch is over at first base.
We got a pitch to drive there. That cut fastball was right upstairs.
No now. Or pardon me, 3-1. Joe Smith loosening in the Angels bullpen. Fernando Salas was also up. There are the 2 right-handers. 3-1. Cole shoots her to the alley in left center field. Cespedes moving over, and he'll make the running catch. And the Angels' 7th is in the books. We'll head to the 8th. Still 4-2 Boston. See how much you can save by Jack in the Box at Jack's Spicy Chicken Club Combo for just $4.99 plus tax. And by the Sonata Premier event at your Hyundai dealer now through September 2nd. Boston still leads at 4-2 as we begin the top of the 8th inning. Fernando Salas takes over on the mound. Jason Grillo had himself a 1-2-3 7th inning. Salas so far this season 4-0, 2.97 ERA. This will be his 37th game, 36 in the 3rd innings, 34 strikeouts, and 12 walks. He's scheduled to face Cespedes, Napoli, and Nava here in this Red Sox 8th inning. Cespedes making a nice running grab on that ball that Calhoun hit. Looks at a strike. It's the second time tonight that the Angels have had their leadoff man reached, and then the next 3 guys put out by a Red Sox pitcher. Cespedes tonight 1 for 3 with a 2 RBI double in the 3rd. Bouncing now and out in front of the plate. Evens up the count. Right after him, 1-2.
Challenged with a fastball. Looked like Cespedes was looking something off speed. Salas has a very good changeup.
Fouled off to the right.
Now let's check out our Arco top tier play of the game. Cespedes doubles right on the chalk down the left field line. Driving in his first 2 RBIs as a Red Sox. He's now 69 RBI on the season.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Cespedes, and there's the first down here in the 8th.
It's a good changeup from Fernando.
First baseman, number 12, Napoli.
We get a good view on our Super Mo as far as our changeup. Turns over, circle changeup, down in the dirt, swing and miss from Cespedes. Looks like a fastball, starts at the knees, but ends up in the dirt at 87.
Napoli looks at a strike. Homered in the 5th inning. That came with 2 outs and off of Weaver. 1 for 2 game. Oh, 2. $38,016 tonight here at the Big A for the first of this 3-game series. Upstairs. Challenge him. Down goes Napoli. 2 outs.
Good life on the fastball from Salas to get another swing and miss. This time going upstairs. Napoli unable to get his hands up through the baseball to make contact on that high fastball.
So with 2 outs and the bases clear, Nava steps out. Red Sox right fielder 0 for 3. 3 fly ball outs for him. The Angels at the bottom of the 8th have Trout, Pujols, and Hamilton due up. This one sliced over to third, backhanded by Freeze. Across the diamond, and Salas with a 1-2-3-8. We head to the bottom of the inning. 2, 3, and 4 coming up for the Halos, down by 2. inning, a couple of defensive changes for the Boston Red Sox, and they've also made a change on the mound. It's Jackie Bradley Jr. taking over at center field, pushing Brock Holt to right, so Daniel Nava no longer in the ball game. And it's Junichi Tazawa, the right-hander, now on in relief. Taking over for Tommy Lane, who got Calhoun hit that fly ball, or line out, if you will, to Cespedes to end the seventh.
Tazawa, fastball, good fastball, 91-96. Slider, curve, and a very good swing and miss split finger fastball. He throws nearly 29% of his pitches are going to be split finger fastballs.
52 games, 2-3 mark, and a 3.33 earned run average. 46 innings, 48 hits, and 47 strikeouts. He'll face Trout, Pujols, and Hamilton. Alan Webster went 6 2/3 tonight. 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Lane 1/3 of an inning with the ball that Calhoun hit. Tazawa signed as an international free agent prior to the 09 season. Last year with Boston, 71 games, a 5-4 record, and a 3.16 ERA. Trout tonight 0 for 2. Sack fly in the third, picking up his 82nd run batted in. Breaking pitch, misses low. Jammed with a fastball. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
So far, you've seen a slow curveball and a fastball. Trout so important to this offense, the igniter for the offense.
Takes a breaking ball for a strike, and it's 1-2. Tazawa, native of Yokohama, Japan. Owner of the 4th lowest single season ERA by a Red Sox since 1915. That was at 1.43. Jonathan Papelbon in 06 at .92. Koji Uehara had a fantastic year last year. He is second with a 1.09. He's their closer. One ball, 2 strikes with Albert on deck. Hamilton to follow. Two.
Boy, Vasquez was tapping the ground as if he was trying to make Trout aware of maybe a split finger fastball, then wanted a fastball upstairs.
The only inning in which the Angels have had multiple base runners on board, the 3rd. That's when they scored the 2 runs. Aside from that, it's been very quiet offensively. 2-2 now. Full count.
That was a split finger fastball.
Boston 4 runs, 7 hits, an error. They've stranded 5. The Angels 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors. Have left 5 on base as well. Payoff pitch. This one Down to shallow center field. Long run in for Jackie Bradley Jr. and he'll make the running catch for the first down.
The reason why he was brought in there to play defense. Very, very good in the outfield. He's made some incredible highlight plays this season. Got a good jump on this. He's playing back to take away a potential double. Comes charging in and makes a nice running catch. His head still, eyes right on the baseball, looks it in the glove. Outstanding range in center field.
So 1 out, nobody on, and Albert coming up. Pujols 0 for 2. Picked up a walk back in the third. And now with Tazawa on the mound. No ownership for Pujols. PEDROIA stays in second. First 3 plate appearances, 3 guys on the left side.
That's odd, too. When you think about it, he throws so many split finger fastballs. Your tendency as a right-handed batter, you're going to try to pull that pitch.
Game at Oakland down the bottom of the 8th. A's still lead at 6-5. Here it's 4-2 Boston. Foul back. Hamilton on deck. Two.
Certainly a lot of time in between each pitch for Tazawa. Every single pitch.
This one down the left field line as Albert just reaches for it and pokes it into left field. Cespedes comes up with it, spins around, fires to second, wildly airmailing Pedroia, but Napoli backing up on the play. A double for Albert Pujols, his 29th of the year.
A split finger fastball. He's put down and got it. He's put the bat head on the baseball right down the left field line as Pujols cruises into second base for his 29th double of the season.
So it'll bring up the tying run at Josh Hamilton.
That's 50 extra base hits this season for Pujols.
Josh 0 for 2, hit by a pitch his last time up. Double for Albert, the 5th hit for the Angels tonight.
Against Tazawa, lefties are hitting 278. As compared to 256 for right-handed batters.
1-0. Foul back. Kevin Jepsen had been loosening, but the score remains the same. It'll be Jepsen. The Angels tied up. It'll be Houston Street tied up or take the lead.
On 3 straight fastballs. Something Hamilton would love to see.
Behind in the count at 1-2. Now Vasquez is going to go out and talk things over, slow things down a little bit more so. 14 pitches thrown by Tazawa, 8 strikes, 6 balls. Breaking pitch. This one's out towards center. Off the end of the bat. 2 down. So it'll bring up Ibar. The Angels' sputtering offense continues tonight. Able to really get anything going. Aside from that 3rd inning in which they scored twice. Eric Ibar tonight 0 for 3. A ground ball to second, a pop to third, and a fly ball to center. Eric's seen a lot of off-speed pitches tonight.
And another one. Yep. Well, when you see that in the dugout, you see it down in the bullpen. Chasing some all-speed pitches, you got to stay with that. Sequences against him until he starts putting that ball in play hard.
Box it foul. In the hole now. No balls, 2 strikes. All right, Tazawa's a human rain delay on the mound. So now it's a ball and 2 strikes. We get to do this again.
And we'll take its time. Coming into this game, though, when you think about it, you had Weaver going up against Webster, all that excitement of that whole Dodger series. You wonder if there was a potential where the club just felt that this was the kind of game you were going to win for sure, but you still have to take that approach as far as quality at bats against a young pitcher and give Webster a lot of credit. He made some quality pitches when he had to tonight, but it's one of those games where you reference that a lot in basketball, the trap game, in which you had all that excitement for 4 games and all of a sudden a little bit of a letdown emotionally It's when you hope your ace gives you a chance, and Weaver gave him a chance through 6 innings, but now Boston pitch has been very good.
Ground ball over to third. Middlebrooks has it. And the Angels are done here in the 8th. We head to the 9th, 4-2 Boston. New pitcher on the mound. We'll tell you about that here in just a second. Hey, folks, you can follow every Angel game with MLB.com at bound at your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replay, scores, stats, audio, free MLB.tv game of the day and more. Download the App Store by logging on at Angels.com. You can get more details there. Kevin Jepsen on the mound. Takes over for Fernando Salas. He was spectacular in his 1 inning of relief, as was Jason Grilli, by the way. 6 up, 6 down for the Angels bullpen so far. 55th game for Kevin. 0-1 mark and a 1.74 ERA. He'll be facing the bottom third of the order here in the 9th.
Jepsen's fastball has been fantastic this season, 94 to 98. Very good slider and quality changeup.
Bogaerts, Middlebrooks, and Vasquez for Boston here in the 9th inning. Xander Bogaerts, the shortstop, 0 for 3. 2 fly ball outs. Little bouncer back to the mound in the 6th inning. Pitch looked to be pretty good. It's called ball 1. This one lined out to left field. Hamilton got a good jump on it. Slides. Boy, picks up the divot. And hopefully he's all right. That is a knee right into the ground.
There's no slide on that one. They got the foot caught.
It's like the sod truck just stopped.
That's amazing. This looks like your 8-iron on a fairway.
Now, why do you got to go talking about my 8-iron, man?
It's your favorite club. When the knee went into that sod in the outfield.
Well, that doesn't feel good sometimes, man. You talk about the ankle, the knee, the hip. 1 out, Middlebrooks up. I like my 7-iron better.
Get a little more loft, you get a little more of the sod taken away.
Middlebrooks a 1-for-3 game. Base hit in the 4th. Weaver tonight, 6 innings, 4 runs, 7 hits. Really a 1-2-3 7th. Salas a 1-2-3 8th. Koji Uehara getting ready for Boston. Their closer. Halos in the bottom of the 9th. Have Kendrick, Freese, and Navarro due up. Two balls, 2 strikes. Tomorrow night, Garrett Richards and Clay Buchholz, couple of right-handers. 6:05 start tomorrow. The fireworks after the ball game.
Richards coming off that fantastic shutout of the Dodgers, looking for his 13th victory.
Wanted appeal, he did not go. Kevin got ahead at 0-2 and now dealing with Middlebrooks at a full count. Here's the payoff pitch. Lifted out to right. You're down. Christian Vasquez now coming to the plate. One for 3 night for Vasquez. He's the one that started that rally for Boston in the 3rd inning. Double out to the alley at right center field. Boston picking up 3 straight hits to score 1 run. And Cespedes with 1 out. The double down the left field line made it a 3-0 Red Sox lead. After the last out, Angels Live post game presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers. We'll break it all down. Patrick O'Neill, Tim Salmon, Jose Mota, and Alan Curry. Immediately following the last out. Oh, 1. Breaking ball in there, 0-2.
He's been real comfortable throwing that pitch consistently for strikes this season. Good slider from Jepsen.
He went around, and it's a wild pitch, so Vasquez will reach on the strikeout. Wild pitch. And the inning continues.
A sharp slider in the dirt and underneath Iannetta for a wild pitch for Jepsen.
That glove coming up, almost like trying to field it as opposed to trying to knock it down.
Yeah, especially a slider in the dirt. Not gonna have that true bounce of what you see from a fastball because of the spin of the seams when it hits the dirt.
Brock Holt will bat now with 2 outs and a man on. He lines one just beyond the reach of Ibar into left center. Vasquez will turn second. He'll slam on the brakes. So now you have 2 on and 2 outs for Pedroia. Holt with his 2nd hit of the night. Multi-hit game for Pedroia, 2 for 4. Boston now with 8 hits on the night. Oakland defeated the Minnesota Twins tonight 6-5, so a loss tonight, and the Angels will be 4 back in the American League West.
And 2 more games in that series for Oakland against Minnesota. They've won 12 in a row against them.
Angels have not been taking care of their own business. That one's down and away. 10-10 since the All-Star break. Lost 3 straight. PEDROIA with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. And now Jepsen wants to talk things over. Retired the first 2 batters on fly ball outs. Had Vasquez on a strikeout with a wild pitch. Kept the inning alive. Holt with a base hit. And now PEDROIA with a 1-1 count. Lines one out to center field. Trout to his right. Puts it away. And we'll head to the bottom of the 9th. The Angels down by 2.
Not overpowering with his fastball, but it spots it exceptionally well. 86 to 90. Occasional cut fastball, very good. Split finger fastball, his go-to swing and miss pitch.
He takes over for Tazawa, who went 1 inning, allowed a hit. Everything else zeros. And Howie Kendrick will try to lead things off by getting on board. Angels have had some base runners, and pretty much every inning, the only inning being the second in which they were retired in order. Aside from that, they've had base runners, just have never really been able to get anything going. Webster limited the Angels to 2 runs in his 6 2/3, 4 hits, 3 strikeouts. Lane got the 1 out to finish off the 7th. And then Tazawa, a scoreless 8th inning. Howie tonight 1 for 3, a base hit up the middle. 2 for 11 in his career against Koji. First one, first strike. One ball, 1 strike. That is driven out toward right center field. Jackie Bradley Jr. giving chase, leaps up, and he makes an unbelievable catch and hangs on to it. robbing Kendrick of would-be extra bases.
Well, we talked about he's a highlight reel almost every time he takes that position in center field. He hasn't been hitting well lately, but he certainly hasn't taken that out to the field. 2 outstanding plays in this game alone, coming in as a defensive replacement. Jumps back and able to hold on to the baseball. That baseball was at the edge of the glove when he slams into the wall, able to hold on to it. Outstanding play by Bradley.
Oh, he just timed the leap perfectly.
And able to hold on to the baseball, that contact made with that hard wall.
So it's the first out here in the 9th. David Freese takes outside. Freese a ground out, lined into a double play and a hit by pitch. So he's 0 for 2. And he drives one out toward right center field. Bradley giving chase. This one's off the wall. Bradley plays the carom perfectly and then fires it nowhere near the bag.
Fortunately enough, it wasn't at the base. He got that in as quick as possible.
A double for David Freese, his 15th of the year, and it'll bring up the tying run and Efrain Navarro.
Well, that's 2 baseballs hit extremely well in this inning. Boy, right down the heart of the plate. Freese stayed back on that well. We talked about that approach to go the other way. And that ball's crushed. Will play well by Bradley. Freese goes in for his 15th double of the season.
So the key against Bradley is hit it over his head and up onto the wall.
Well up in the wall.
Yeah, well up in the wall.
Or over the wall right now.
Second straight inning in which the Angels have had a 1-out double. Efrain takes a strike. Navarro the DH tonight, a walk, a fly to right, and a fly to right. He's 0 for 2. He could easily put a charge into one himself and tie this game up. Chris Arnett on deck, then the top of the order. Should we get that far? Two missiles by the Angels to start the 9th. One for a fantastic out by Jackie Bradley Jr., the other for a double. 0-2 pitch. Lays off. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Especially with the outfield playing pretty deep. A little flare into the outfield is what you need right now from Navarro. Just a base hit.
Behar last year 21 saves, pitching in 73 games for Boston. Now his 2nd season with the Red Sox. 1-2. This one's pulled over to first. Napoli has it. And the Angels down to the last out. As Freese moves over to third. Angels tonight 0 for 4 with men in scoring position tonight. Halos 0 for their last 12 with men in scoring position. Chris Iannetta 1 for 3 game. Lays off and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Chris doubled in the 3rd inning. This one fouled off of Vasquez, the catcher.
Pretty good swing at that pitch. Fastball at 86. Very hittable speed.
2 balls, 1 strike. Freestanding at third base, Calhoun on deck. Ihara's 2-1 pitch. Down and away. Make it 3 balls and 1 strike.
Certainly doesn't walk many batters. There's 6 walks. 52 in the 3rd innings pitched.
And there's ball 4. It'll bring up the winning run in Cole Calhoun. Patient plate appearance for Chris Iannetta. Colin Cowgill is coming out to pitch run for Chris.
That's a very important run right there. Tying run. The gapper can score Cowgill from first.
Calhoun tonight 2 for 4 with a couple of singles. Last time up, hit that liner out to the alley in left center that Cespedes made a nice running catch on. Cespedes shallow in left. Holt deep in right. Bradley deep in center. First one, fastball. Right down the pipe for strike.
Boy, odd splits for Ihara. 143 for left-handed batters against him. 232 for right-handed batters.
Oh, 1 pitch. This one's fouled back. The Angels down to the last strike here. No balls, 2 strikes now, Cole. Halos trying to snap this 3-game losing streak. .16 pitches thrown by Ihara. 9 strikes, 7 balls. The 0-2. This one fouled back.
A nice job just making contact with that split finger fastball to stay alive and you're at bat.
Tying running Colin Cowgill at first, and Cole now backs out, tired of waiting. Trout on deck. Here's the 0-2 again. Fastball called, strike 3, and the Red Sox take game 1 by the final of 4-2.
Ihara with a big save there, his 24th of the season, paints the outside corner. Mike Napoli with a home run. Boston with 3 runs in the 3rd, a home run in the 5th. His fastball paints the outside corner, got the benefit of that call, just touching barely the outside corner. As Boston wins game 1, Webster picks up the W, 2-1. Weaver falls to 12-7.
So it'll be up to Garrett Richards tomorrow night to try to snap this now 4-game losing streak. And the Angels 4 back in the American League West. Stick around, Angels Live postgame is coming up next.